Arrived at the station to find my Virgin East Coast train to Leeds was cancelled, with the quickest rearranged route including a change at Doncaster, not the most pleasant of towns, and a Northern Trains journey with their garishly upholstered seats from Doncaster to Leeds. The day's first destination was the Tetley, for Jonathan Trait's Polyculture exhibition and Stass Paraskos' Lovers and Romances exhibition. Lovers and Romances, when exhibited at the Leeds Institute in 1966, was raided by the police following a complaint from a member of the public, and Paraskos was charged with obscenity. It was alleged he displayed paintings that were lewd and obscene in contravention of the Vagrancy Act 1838. Paraskos lost the case and was fined £5. Exiting the Tetley, I wandered over to see a nice bit of urban decay consisting of 36 to 44 Bridge End. I used this building as a barometer of how far regeneration has crept, and was dismayed to see it looks to be undergoing work. The Henry Moore Institute was up next. I've spoken about my dislike for HMI before. They take themselves far too seriously, holding themselves up as a high temple of art, with visitors expected to show due reverence. So I entered the Body Extended exhibition, resigned to the usual nonsense. And when you have to deal with the King of Glasgow, you soon recognise nonsense. But things seem to have changed. I enjoyed a visit to HMI for the first time. Perhaps they're trying to replicate their Yorkshire Triangle partners, Hepworth Gallery and Yorkshire Sculpture Park, both excellent venues to experience art. After HMI, I intended to take a look at Glenn Hellman's 1965 fiberglass sculpture Androgyne in the hideous Merrion Centre, only to find hoardings everywhere, the centre undergoing refurbishment and no sign of Hellman's work. Never mind, Bond Court just off Park Row hosts another public sculpture in the shape of Roger Burnett's Game of Bulls. Bond Court is also in the process of refurbishment, with Burnett's piece behind a fenced off work area. I feared standing still too long lest I became the next thing in Leeds to be refurbished, and trotted off muttering to myself. A multi-storey car park seems a strange structure to seek out for someone travelling by train, but time permitting I try and find one in every city to take some high vantage shots. The idea of utilising multi-storey car parks came from a member of the wonderful gallery staff at Hepworth Wakefield, when I asked if they could recommend any tall buildings in Wakefield to shoot from. The Market's NCP car park on New York Street was a choice in Leeds. Well, it was the first one I encountered, and pictures and video were taken from the top floor. Looking north, Victoria Gate is juxtaposed with the open air market. Does Leeds really need Victoria Gate? Aren't there enough shopping centres for consumers to worship at in the city already? I suppose it's another opportunity to become a good debt slave, as Tarquin would say. Southwest, the beautiful dome of the beautiful Corn Exchange can be seen. It is of course against the law to visit Leeds and not the Corn Exchange. They have table tennis tables in the basement at the moment if you're feeling energetic. Moving round the car park, Leeds Minster's 42-metre tower comes into view. The final port of call was Kirkgate Market. When opened in 1904, the Joseph and John Leeming designed and J. Bagshaw and Sons built market measured 74.06 metres long, 31.09 metres wide and possessed a 14.63 metres high roof. The central dome rose 7.31 metres above the roof and stood 21.94 metres above the ground. While excavating the foundations, a 0.6 metre wide seam of coal was encountered 4 metres from the surface. Building on this seam of coal would have resulted in subsidence. To overcome the subsidence risk, excavations extended 0.4 metres beneath the coal seam, greatly increasing the foundation's preparation period. The initial estimate for construction was £73,000, increased by £7,000 when it was deemed desirable to have the market half a metre higher than first intended. Of course, construction went way over budget, with the final cost totalling £116,000. Within the hall there were plans for up to 86 places of business, half of which were located on the balcony approached by stairs from the main area. An additional 84 open stalls were distributed around the market, a feature of which was the grouping of a number of them under the dome surrounding the ornamental clock stand in the middle of the market. The market gained Grade Listed 1 status in May 1973. When last visiting the market in February 2016, I noticed the balcony running around the perimeter and wondered if access would be possible to take photos. So with a little more time on this visit, I asked a member of staff, and he said to inquire at the information centre located at the end of row H. I addressed my request to Andrew, the member of staff at the information centre, who eyed me uncertainly, as most people do, and asked me a few questions in return. My responses appeared to convince him I wasn't a wrong 'un, and he said when his colleague returned he would take me up to the balcony. The balcony is in two halves, one which the market traders have access to as storage for their goods, and the other which we climb to, and has little purpose these days. Before reaching the balcony, you pass through the airy Kirkgate suite, a 20-seat meeting room overlooking the market, hired out as a revenue stream. Rent for the suite is £180 per day, £100 per half a day, or £50 for an hour. The Victoria Gate management team on occasions utilised this room during the construction of their dystopian creation. Once through the Kirkgate suite, you're onto the balcony proper, and walking round, Andrew highlighted points of interest while relaying the market's history. Back on the ground floor my tour continued, and I learned the current refurbishment in Leeds? Surely not. Was costing £16 million. Some butchers were being moved to units on Game Row, so locating all the fresh produce in one area, and a small section of paint had been removed during work on this area, revealing the original Victorian tiles. Stupidly, I didn't photograph these tiles, but perhaps next time I visit all the tiles will be visible, as the rest of the paint is planned to be eliminated. I'd heard the market units were expensive. As an example, Unit Q in the 1904 hall, consisting of 24.28 square metres, incurs costs of £1,342 85 pence rent per calendar month, £264 and 5 pence service charge per calendar month, and an annual rateable value of £7,735, with discounts for masons. Oh no, my mistake. I'm sure all those definitely non-Masonic owls around the city just illustrate a passion for ornithology. A huge thank you to Andrew for his kindness. His knowledge and affection for the market made my time with him a veritable treat. Kirkgate Market run guided tours every second Saturday in the month if this has piqued your interest. There was time to have a quick drink before heading to the train station, where my train was once again cancelled. Good old Virgin East Coast.